Cole. Chapter 1. Down on the Farm. Carrying his suitcase, a dark-haired man with a neatly trimmed mustache walked across the rural road to the gate of a small farm. An older woman in overalls and a straw hat was using a hoe to break up soil.
"Excuse me,"
the man said.
"I was wondering if you've seen my son. Cole, bushy eyebrows, great big head of hair."
"Yep,"
the woman drawled.
"He's over yonder, trying to get Henry to plow out the big field."
She turned and pointed past the rice paddies that ran across the side of the farm to the large field behind the farmhouse. The man could see Cole straining to coax a fat yak into pulling a metal plow.
"You got yourself a good boy,"
the woman said.
"We ain't sure who's more stubborn, Cole or Henry."
The man smiled.
"That does sound like Cole."
As she walked the man over, she noticed his suitcase was covered with stickers bearing city names.
"You one of them traveling performers?"
"Yes."
he replied, smiling proudly.
"I'm a part of a song and dance group called the Royal Blacksmiths. You may have heard of us. We've won the Blade Cup several times."
"Nope, never heard of y'all,"
she answered.
"We don't have time for performers out here. Crops don't take a night off. So we don't, either. My name's Sally Bob, by the way."
"I'm Lou. Pleased to meet you."
the man said. As they drew closer, Lou watched Cole plant his hands on the yak's rear end and push as hard as he could, his feet slipping in mud. Henry seemed happy where he was. Lou also saw that Cole had a bandage around his head and bruises on his arms, like he'd been in a fight. But Lou didn't know how that would be possible, since losing his power as Master of Earth in the battle against the Crystal King, Cole hadn't been in any fights that Lou knew about. Cole's feet finally slid out from under him completely, and he plopped face first into the mud. Henry grunted.
"Looking good, son,"
Lou said cheerfully. Cole looked up, wiping mud from his eyes, and broke into a huge smile.
"Dad!"
he cried, leaping up to hug his father, and getting mud all over Lou's suit.
"How did you find me?"
Lou squeezed his son back.
"You wrote Master Wu a letter, remember?"
Lou said.
"To tell him where you'd be in case he ever needed you. It's been a while since we last saw each other. So I took a little break from our tour to come and see you, if that's all right. Losing your powers as the Master of Earth can't have been easy."
Sally Bob turned to amble back to her field.
"I'll leave you to your hugging,"
she said.
"Crops don't hug, and neither do we. You're welcome to stay in that barn with your boy, as long as you like,"
she told Lou.
"Thank you."
Lou called back, waving. Then he noticed the mud all over his suit. He chuckled and started to wipe it off.
"Sorry about that."
Cole muttered.
It's great to see you, Dad, but I'm fine. After I left the monastery, I was pretty down, wondering what I was going to do with the rest of my life. All my friends had moved on. I was just wandering. I didn't feel anchored to anything. Then I found this farm, and I thought, Master of Earth, farming the land, it sort of made sense, so I thought I'd give it a try and see what not fighting all the time would be like. But enough about that. Come on, let's get you settled. Henry, you take a break.
The yak grunted again. Cole took his father's suitcase and led him past some small houses and toward a large barn.
And I kinda like it here. The people have treated me great, like one of their own,
he said. He waved at a farmer walking in the other direction, carrying a sack of seeds.
Hi, Bob, heading out to plant that north field?
The man smiled and nodded, continuing on, and when he was past, Cole saw that his father was confused.
No, that's Bob,
he explained to Lou.
He's Sally Bob's brother. That's one of the best things about this place. Only some of the farmers are related to each other, but they all treat each other like one big family. And they're super peaceful. I think they worship the land.
Lou gently touched one of the bruises on Cole's arm.
Looks like peaceful farming can get pretty dangerous,
he said.
Oh, that.
Cole replied with a frown.
Sally Bob's bunch has been having trouble with her neighbor, Takanagi. He's a big-time farmer who owns all the land around Sally Bob's, and Sally Bob won't sell. Takanagi wants all the land, though, so he sends his thugs over here every so often to try and convince her.
And you've been defending the land for the farmers?
Lou guessed.
Trying to, at least. I promised Mom I'd always stand up for others, and that means whether I have powers or not.
He sighed.
I thought being out here would be a simpler life, one where I didn't need to be a ninja. So far, that hasn't happened, but I think it will work out somehow eventually.
Lou nodded, then he looked at Cole closely.
I know you say you like it here, but do you feel... What was the word you used? Anchored here? Maybe grounded is a better term. Like this place and people give you some kind of balance in your life?
Cole shrugged.
I don't know. I feel like something's been missing since I lost my powers. And working here makes it not so bad. At least, I don't think about it as much.
Lou could hear uncertainty in Cole's voice. He knew not feeling so bad wasn't the same as being grounded. As they continued into the barn, Lou looked around. A farm was hardly the place he expected to find Cole. But if this was where his son really felt he should be, then so be it. Chapter 2. Attack of the War Tractors. Lou woke with a start, sitting up in Sally Bob's barn, hearing a groaning sound, like a heavy door opening for the first time in hundreds of years.
What's that?
He cried. Across the barn, Cole woke and wiped sleep from his eyes.
Huh? Oh, that's the farmer's rooster. It must be sunrise.
That doesn't sound like any rooster I've ever heard.
Lou replied, hurrying to the barn door and sliding it open. Instead of a rooster, he was startled to see the yak standing right before him. It licked him from chin to hairline with its sandpapery tongue. Lou yelped in surprise, jumping back.
Henry likes to pretend he's a rooster.
Cole explained, patting Henry's nose. Lou looked at the dark sky.
But it doesn't look like the sun's coming up.
He pointed out.
It's the middle of the night.
Cole stepped out of the barn with his dad and gazed at the stars. Confused.
That's weird,
he said.
The only time Henry pretends he's a rooster is when there's trouble. But I don't see any.
Before he could finish, they heard the rumbling of engines, and a moment later, 5 pairs of headlights crested a hill in the distance. The lights grew bigger and the rumbling louder as they approached the farm.
Takanagi?
Lou asked.
Yeah, stay here, Dad.
Cole implored.
You'll be safe.
Cole ran toward the headlights. Whatever Takanagi was sending their way, there were more of them than there were of Cole. Lou admired his son's bravery, but he wished he had someone or something else on his side. The other farmers stood outside their homes, watching, not making any move to get to his aid. And Cole was trying to protect them. Maybe the farmers were peaceful, but surely they could do something to help. Since it appeared they wouldn't, Lou decided he would. He ran after Cole, quickly becoming rather winded.
I'm in shape for soft shoe dancing, not sprinting,
he thought. As he got closer, he saw that the approaching vehicles were tractors, which made sense, but they weren't like normal tractors. They had been heavily modified, with metal plating along their sides. The drivers, too, wore metal plating on their overalls. They wore helmets and carried large and long pitchforks, like bizarre armored knights from some medieval tale. Lou ran up beside his son, who had stopped to make a stand before the war tractors.
Dad, I told you to wait in the barn. You're not a fighter.
Cole exclaimed.
I will do whatever I can to protect my family.
Lou replied firmly.
Family is the most important thing.
The drivers stopped their war tractors. The lead driver pointed his pitchfork handle at Cole.
Save yourself a lot more pain, kid, and convince Sally Bob to sell to Takanagi.
I've told you, this is their land, and if they don't want to sell it, they don't have to.
The lead driver turned to his partners and waved them ahead.
Do you have a plan, son?
Lou asked worriedly.
Since I don't have my powers, I'll just keep doing what I've been doing, using my spinjitzu and hoping for the best.
Cole told him. The war tractors were already almost upon them. Cole tried to spin, but didn't have enough room, and he turned right into the broom handles of two of the drivers. He fell, adding more bruises to his collection. Two other drivers, grinning, circled Cole at high speed, splashing mud all over him. The fifth driver sped straight at Lou. Lou didn't quite know what to do. He didn't know any fancy fighting moves, just dance steps. Suddenly, he realized what he could do, and he smiled. Just as the war tractor reached him, Lou gracefully slid to one side. As the machine went past, Lou executed a perfect dance twirl, his foot connecting with the war tractor at the perfect time in the perfect spot. At least, that was what Lou was hoping for. But instead of knocking the heavy vehicle on its side as he had intended, Lou just bounced awkwardly off the machine and landed very ungracefully in the mud. The driver was speechless, absolutely baffled by what he had witnessed, and he couldn't take his eyes off the unfortunate dancer. He was so preoccupied with Lou's blunder, he didn't notice he was driving his vehicle off the path and straight into a ditch until it was far too late. The war tractor suddenly fell over on its side, sending its driver into the mud, too. Cole, however, was having a lot more trouble. Three of the other drivers wouldn't allow him a moment so he could use his spinjitzu. He concentrated on deflecting their blows instead, but the fourth driver swooped his pitchfork handle behind Cole's knees, and he fell once more. The three drivers broke away, rampaging their war tractors up and down the fields, running the farmers' crops. The farmers still just watched. Cole again tried to stand, but the leader pinned him to the ground with his pitchfork handle.
This was your last chance, kid. Next time, we'll get mean.
The goons all turned and drove back the way they'd come, having done enough damage for now. Lou looked at his dazed son with confusion and concern.
Cole, are you all right?
No broken bones.
Cole replied, rising unsteadily with Lou's help. He watched the thugs go, his eyes distant. Lou worried for him.
What is it, Cole?
He said. Cole didn't look back at him.
It's just, I don't know how I'm gonna do it this time.
He told his father.
I don't know how I can keep my promise to Mom.
Chapter 3. The Living Room Dance. Lou stayed up all night with Cole outside the barn, listening to his son try to come up with a plan for defeating Takanagi and his thugs, then throwing away his ideas almost as soon as he thought of them. When morning arrived, Cole was no closer to a solution.
The more I fight back against him for the farmers, the more violent he's gonna get. And with the farmers not being fighters, they could get really hurt,
he said.
But if I leave, they'll lose their land, and I'll be breaking my promise to Mom.
Suddenly, Lou had a thought.
What if we were to put on a show to distract Takanagi and his henchmen?
Okay.
Cole said slowly, asking a question he already knew the answer to.
What happens when the show's over?
Lou thought about it, then slumped.
The farmers would be right back where they started.
I know I don't have any powers, but I hate feeling powerless.
Cole said through clenched teeth, frustrated.
I bet Mom never felt this way.
He looked down.
You'd be wrong.
Lou told him. Cole looked up, surprised.
It wasn't long after I met your mother that she unlocked her true potential. She had some amazing adventures. We were young and in love, and soon we decided to tackle the biggest adventure together. Becoming parents. Lily was so excited, knowing she had passed her powers on to you, her child.
Cole smiled. He'd never heard this story about his mother before. Other farmers, including Sally Bob, started wandering over to listen too. Lou went on.
After you were born, your mother kept going on missions. She loved helping others, but those missions became bigger and bigger. She spent more and more time away from home. I began to feel guilty, like I wasn't helping her. I questioned why she had me in her life at all. How could she need a powerless man like me?
So what did you do?
Sally Bob asked, thoroughly engrossed in the story.
Well, I knew Cole needed me.
Lou said, then turned back to his son.
I took some time off the Royal Blacksmiths, so I could always be around, even when your mom couldn't. And you and I had a wonderful time, playing together, singing together, dancing in the living room. One day your mother came home after a long adventure. She had saved all of Ninjago, and she was crying.
Why?
Cole asked, leaning forward.
Because you'd grown so much. She felt like she hadn't been a part of any of it. She had spent time with you, but nowhere near as much as she wanted. She said she was feeling very out of balance. It was beginning to affect her during missions. She was thinking about us when fighting, and when she wasn't, she was thinking about how to be a better hero. She didn't feel grounded in either place.
She felt powerless.
Cole said quietly.
Exactly.
Lou said.
But you and I looked at each other, and it was amazing. We took her hands and started dancing with her, right there in the living room. And we laughed and we cried happy tears because we were together. Your mom knew we were okay. And she knew that we were thinking of her and loving her. And she could draw that strength from family. And I finally knew that I was helping her. I knew that she needed me because we kept her grounded. Family was the foundation of everything. She carried that for the rest of her days.
Lou smiled at his son.
We all feel powerless sometimes. So it's good to know that we can draw strength from our families if we need to.
Wow. Thanks for telling me that, Dad. I wish you was here right now. It's awesome that you're here, but I could really use all the strength I can get against Takanagi, especially since Sally Bob and her friends aren't fighters.
Says who?
Sally Bob asked indignantly.
Huh?
Cole said, both surprised and confused.
I just assumed, because you never try to help me when Takangi's thugs come.
Sally Bob scowled at him.
You never asked. You just came in here and you told us to stay back, that you'd handle it, so we did.
Cole squeezed his eyes shut, embarrassed.
You're kidding!
He exclaimed.
Crops don't kid, so we don't, either.
Sally Bob informed him.
But we will learn how to fight to defend our land if you show us how.
Optimism and excitement surged through Cole.
Let's get started!
He shouted.
Not just yet.
Sally Bob said, leaning down and squinting at him.
One more thing you need to know, fella. The minute you plant your first seed here, you become part of our family too.
Cole smiled gratefully. So did his father.
Yes, ma'am.
Cole replied. Chapter 4. The Battle of Sally Bob's Farm. The rest of that day and the early part of the evening were spent on training. Cole gave the farmers a crash course in farm defense, using whatever was at hand for makeshift weapons. He held tryouts to see who could throw a corn cob the farthest and the hardest. Sally Bob had a surprisingly good arm. He instructed the farmers how to use the hose and combat staves in case the struggle became hand-to-hand. That went fine, although the farmers, with shorter attention spans, kept wandering off to dig furrows that could be used later for planting. Cole cleverly redirected their efforts so that they were digging deep trenches in which to hide, or trap Takanagi's war tractors. Together, they all pitched in to tear down the barn, repurposing its wooden planks and tools to construct primitive catapults that were nonetheless capable of launching hay bales several hundred feet. Lou participated in the training as well, hoping maybe he could learn a little something that, if not useful for fighting, might come in handy as perhaps a dance move. When the training was over, Cole knew it wouldn't be enough to stop Takanagi and his men. The farmers simply didn't have enough firepower to hold out against the invaders. But he hoped desperately that if Sally Bob and the others could stand strong enough and maybe get in a few licks on Takanagi, he, like most bullies, might decide they were too much trouble and leave them alone.
Are you ready?
Lou asked quietly, after all the preparations have been made. He and Cole crouched behind Sally Bob's house in the last light of the day. The other farmers hid behind their own homes or crouched in newly dug trenches. Sally Bob was with her neighbor behind his house.
I think so, but can I tell you something strange?
Cole answered finally.
You can tell me anything.
Lou replied.
I feel more like the way I was. More like myself than I have since I lost my powers. You know how you were talking about being grounded? I think that's kind of how I feel. Maybe not by the specific place, but by these people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Lou told him. Cole sighed.
I just hope all this work today wasn't for nothing. I mean, we don't even know if Takanagi is coming tonight.
Lou looked behind the farm's property line and pointed.
I don't think you have to worry about that,
he said. The headlights were back at the top of the hill, and Cole could make out the war tractor's silhouettes. One man stepped in behind two of the war tractors. His armor was different from the others. He spoke into a megaphone.
This is Takanagi. I do not appreciate having to be here, but I wanted you to see the face of the man who will seize your land. With my control of this whole region, everyone will come to me for their vegetables, and I will make them pay whatever I want. Do not resist my forces. I have another weapon besides these. I do not wish to use it. It is even more horrible and destructive.
He paused, running through a mental checklist.
Okay, I think that is everything. Here we come.
The war tractors began moving down the hill.
Just the way you thought they'd do this,
Lou said to Cole, who nodded. Takanagi's forces approached a seemingly flat patch of land leading to Sally Bob's farm. But when they tried to cross it, the planks dusted with cut grass, disguising the empty trench behind, gave way. With a loud whoomph, the war tractors fell nose first, throwing their drivers forward to land on the trench's bottom. There was a cheer from behind the other houses as the farmers realized that their defense strategy had worked. But the drivers clumsily scaled the trench in their heavy armor, leaving behind their war tractors and lumbering forward on foot. Cole waved his hand to signal the farmers, who stepped out of hiding and began hurling their projectiles. Corn cobs, head of bok choy, and potatoes they had grown. Many, thankfully, missed their mark, but thanks to their armor, the thugs were too heavy to dodge others, most of which were thrown by Sally Bob. None did any real damage, but several of the goons overbalanced and fell on impact. They would get up, only to be knocked down yet again. Cole could see them looking at each other with confusion and even fear. What else could the farmers have back there to use against them? After their fifth failed attempt to advance, the exhausted goons chose to turn and run back the way they'd come. But before the farmers could celebrate, there was another, louder roar from the top of the hill. Everyone turned, and to their horror, they saw an even larger armored vehicle, this time a massive harvester, rumbling toward them. Suddenly it belched a pume of flame.
I don't think the corn cobs are going to do too much against that.
Sally Bob said worriedly as the war harvester growled across the fields, coming straight for where the group was standing.
That's why we have the catapults.
Cole replied grimly.
Get ready to launch!
The farmers ran to their positions by the catapults, which were already loaded with hay bales, and let fly. The projectiles arched toward the war thresher, but they either smashed harmlessly against its sides, or they were incinerated by jets of flame. The war thresher continued its slow advance as Cole, Lou, and the farmers watched. Cole could feel the eyes of the farmers and his father on him, waiting for his orders. There was only one left he could think to give that might do any good. He turned to them.
I don't want any of you to get hurt. I'll hold off Takanagi as long as I can while you get to safety. Run!
Not giving them a chance to protest, Cole turned back around and started marching toward the oncoming war thresher. He had no idea what he was going to do. But then, out of the corner of his eyes, he could see Sally Bob, the farmers, and even Lou walking with him.
What are you doing? I told you to run!
He asked in panic.
Crops don't run, and neither do we.
Sally Bob growled in response.
We stand up for our land like the family we are.
They kept marching. Whatever they would do, they'd do it together. The final terrible resolution seemed inevitable, until the last member of the farm family took matters into his own hooves. Henry the Yak lumbered in front of the farmers and into the path of the harvester, then simply stood there. The harvester paused, as if unsure what to do.
We need a distraction to get Takanagi away from Henry before the thresher turns him into a steak,
Lou said. He grabbed up 3 leftover potatoes, then ran across the field.
Dad, don't!
Cole yelled, running after him. But Lou ran to a spot about 50 feet to Henry's left and started dancing the fanciest soft shoe he knew, while juggling the potatoes. He spun, he twirled, he leapt. In the war harvester, Takanagi sat mesmerized by the impromptu performance. Who was this fool defending a stubborn yak? Then he remembered why he was there. Angry at himself, he pushed the button to restart the flamethrower and turned it toward the royal blacksmith.
I guess there shall be no curtain call,
Lou thought, bracing himself. Just before the flamethrower could turn him into ash, however, Cole tackled his father, pushing him out of the way. The flame jet roared over their heads.
That was a crazy move, Dad,
he said, impressed by his father's bravery.
A good performer knows how to improvise.
Lou gasped out of breath. They heard the war thresher rumble past them and past Henry, again thundering toward the farm. And the farmers, who stood fearlessly as the very last line of defense.
Move!
Cole yelled desperately, waving his arms in hopes of getting the farmers' attention.
Get away from there! People, come on! You're going to get hurt!
But if the farmers had heard him, they showed no sign. They did not turn and run. Instead, they planted their feet firmly and did something unexpected. They joined hands. When Cole saw this, he was amazed, and then he felt a strange surge within him. Adrenaline. But there was also something more. Something powerful and oddly familiar. When Cole saw the farmers standing together and supporting each other, he mustered the emotional strength he'd lost during the fight with the Crystal King. Energy shot through his limbs, and his heart thrummed in his chest. Pointing his hands toward the war harvester and smiling, he wondered if he'd regained anything he had lost. But he was pretty sure he already knew the answer. Just as power coursed in his veins like lava ready to explode from a volcano, a column of rock erupted beneath the war harvester, flipping it into the air and sending it flying away from the farmers. His confidence soaring, Cole gestured just as the war harvester landed. Before Takanagi could take any action, another earthen pillar sent the vehicle flying backward once more, then again and again, until it disappeared over the hill. The farmers celebrated, jumping up and down, whooping and hollering. Lou hugged his son.
Your powers! They're back. You restored your balance and unlocked your true potential again. How did you do that?
You did it, Dad. By telling me that story about Mom and how he gave her strength when we held hands and danced in the living room. Seeing the farmers hold hands, supporting each other, and grounding each other. I think it grounded me again.
Lou nodded.
Because you care about these people. Just like you've become a part of their family. They've become a part of yours. And family is a strength.
He put his hands on his son's shoulders, filled with emotion.
You were amazing today. But with or without your powers, you've always made me and your mother very proud.
Cole and Lou grinned as the farmers rushed toward them, slapping Cole on the back.
I have to say, your powers come back with a real sense of timing.
Lou said, with a wink.
You must get it from your dad.
Chapter 5. One Last Obstacle. Cole and Lou stayed at the farm a while longer and helped rebuild the barn and plant new crops. During that time, Takanagi never returned, nor was he seen at all. After a few days, they heard good news. Takanagi had, in fact, sold all his land because he decided it was too much trouble and was headed far away to pursue a different empire in something easier, like pillowcases. Cole's prediction about a bully's behavior had in fact proven true. Much relieved, the farmers dreamed of having a bumper crop the next harvest season, and using the profits to buy all the land Takanagi once had, so they could start their own vegetable empire. When the barn was done, Sally Bob saw Cole and Lou approaching, carrying their bags.
You'll believe it now, I expect.
The Royal Blacksmiths have some big shows coming up.
Lou told them with a smile.
But when we come this way, I'll make sure there are tickets for you.
Well, crops don't go to shows, and neither do we. But in your case, I reckon we could make an exception.
She turned to Cole.
You going on the road with your dad?
Lou looked at Cole, too. He'd wondered the same thing.
I'm going back to the monastery as Bujitsu.
Cole said.
If I've rediscovered my true potential and my powers are back, that may have happened for the other ninja too. If so, maybe it's time to become a team again. But I'll never forget my time here, Sally Bob, and how you've helped me feel balanced and grounded again. If Takanagi or anyone else ever threatens you, send word to the monastery and I'll come and help.
I reckon we wouldn't need you for that.
Sally Bob said.
Now that you've taught us how to stick up for ourselves, but if you're free around harvest time...
I'll be here.
Cole laughed. They all shook hands, and Cole and Lou walked toward the gate.
I'm glad we got to spend some time together, son.
Lou said. Cole put an arm around his dad's shoulders.
Me too. Dad, you're as much of a hero as Mom was.
Oh no, I'm just a song and dance man, who can juggle a little bit.
Lou said modestly.
I'm serious. By keeping Mom grounded, you brought her balance and strength so she could be the hero she needed to be. In part, because of you, she was able to help a lot of people she wouldn't have been able to otherwise. That means you helped them too.
I guess I never thought of it like that,
Lou said, embarrassed.
Thank you, Cole. But is it okay if I leave the fighting part of being a hero to people like you?
They walked a few more steps, laughing. Then Cole noticed something ahead.
Looks like we forgot to say goodbye to somebody.
Henry the Yak stood between them and the gate, chewing some grass. He was acting as if he wasn't looking at them, but Cole had a feeling the Yak was intentionally blocking them. Cole walked up and patted Henry on his flank.
Henry, old buddy.
Cole told the animal.
I'm gonna miss you, but I'll see you soon for harvest.
Henry moved a few steps to the side, allowing them to access the gate. Now he was looking Lou straight in the eye.
I think he wants you to say goodbye too, Dad,
said Cole.
Really? Well, okay.
He walked up to Henry's snout, unsure of what to say.
Well, Henry, I guess.
But before he could get another word out, Henry licked his face again with his slobbery tongue, covering him in yak drool. Cole laughed as Lou wiped his face with his sleeve. Lou was laughing too.
You're a funny yak,
said Lou.
Have you ever thought about coming on the road and performing?
Lou and Cole walked out of the gate and down the road together. Henry grunted and moved over to another patch of grass and went on with his day.